Thank you. CAISHAWN. I didn't hear you. You're welcome. Anybody me now?
All
right. Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Holton.
I believe you had testified that you did not recall ever telling the police that you that Nard and Dolly had bragged about killing Nut. Do you remember saying that before?
I ain't say nothing about it. I don't ever recall. I never heard anybody bragging about killing him.
Okay, I'm going to play for you Stacy Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo at 3:48:46.
The dude telling me the story, he's like, shoot. But they talking about it, you know what I mean? But I ain't never heard Shan talk about it. I heard God talking loud about it. I mean, what is it? I mean, fuck that bitch. I mean, so I laughed. Then I heard Dora first time out, she talking about a lot. I mean, what she said? She just after that girl, yeah. She just talking about like, yeah, fuck that nigga. Something, I pay my brother. I mean, wait.
Did you hear when you told the police you heard Thug's sister talk about it and say, F that nigga. He something. He shouldn't play with my brother?
No, I didn't hear. I didn't understand not one word out of that whole thing.
You need to play it again?
You can play it 10 times. I just can't understand. I can't make out the words.
Why did you bring up that Thug's sister talked about killing Nut?
Miss Hilton, it's about trying to convince them. So I'm pretty sure you watched the interview and you laughed at the stuff I said and you knew that I'm lying, but.
And you told this to police on June 10th. Correct. That was the day that you got arrested, correct?
I don't know what I said in that interview.
All right. And it was on June 13th that we heard the phone call of the Dolly saying we killed Nut, correct?
Again, she said they saying.
But that was on June 13th that jail call happened.
I can't say what date it happened, but I heard it on the jail call.
And it says that jail call was after your interview with Gaither and Dennis.
You tell me.
All right. Now, you've said on numerous occasions throughout your testimony that you feed the police whatever lies that you're telling in the moment, correct?
What you mean?
That whatever lies you're making up, you make it up in the moment, correct?
Not necessarily. Sometimes they might ask me a question where I'm not prepared for. Like, my own thing is, my being interrogated, my only thing is get them off of me. So, by any means necessary, get them off of me. With Detective Gaither and Dennis, I know that, you know what I mean, I got to be more convincing with it. I keep telling you that.
And all the lies you make up while you're in the interview, correct?
No.
So you make it up beforehand?
Yeah, I actually tell myself lies on a daily basis back then. Like, I'll put stuff in my head and make myself believe it so that. But they just when it comes to certain, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just, at this point, I'm over it. You know what I mean? Like.
So when you're sprinkling your truths with your lies, is it fair to say that you don't make up the lies with anyone else?
Nah, what I'm saying is, I'm trying to tell you that was back then. Like, you feel me? You trying to make me go back into You know what I mean? Like I play games like back then. So now it's like it's hard for me to answer your question because you keep going back then.
Well, we're talking about the interviews that you did back then.
Right. So I'm in the interrogation room. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I keep going to jail every chance the police see me. So some things I just knew where they out there.
And my question to you is, it is fair to say that you made up these lies on your own, correct? Whatever you were telling the police back in 2015 to finesse yourself, you were making those lies up on your own, correct?
I'm not up here trying to reveal my hand. So what I'm saying to you is I lied back in 2015. If you want me to be speaking in general, like over the whole curse of the thing, like you gotta be more specific. Like with this situation right here, they questioned me one time. I told them out the real when he questioned me, I told him whatever I told him, I don't remember. The next time he questioned me, I told him something different. I don't remember. Every time he questioned me, only thing I could remember was to convince them that I didn't do these crimes.
And
Let me go.
And my question to you is, in all of your interviews in 2015, you keep telling the jury that you sprinkle a little bit of lie with a little bit of truth. My only question to you is, those lies that you were sprinkling in, you made them up on your own, correct?
But somebody's supposed to help me make it up? Like, I don't get what you're asking.
That's all I'm asking. Did you make up those lies on your own?
Did I make them up on my own? What the heck? Did I make them up on my own? You need to be more specific.
Did you make up the lies with anyone else?
Somebody like, did I go to somebody else tell them lie with me?
Yeah.
I went to people and told them what was going on,
Okay.
what the police was questioning me about, and I said certain things to certain people.
Who did you tell those lies to?
I don't remember who all I told it to, but I told it. I have.
Who were some of the people you told the lies to?
Montunk, Lil D,
Which Lil D?
from my neighborhood.
Okay. From Mechanicsville.
Yep.
Okay.
My brother. Shit, I told Vlad to screw my name. Yeah.
Did you tell Shannon about the lies that you told the police?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure I probably did.
Did you tell Thug about the lies you told the police?
Yeah.
Did you tell Yak the lies that you told the police?
No, I don't think I told. I don't, because I ain't really talked yet much, so I don't think I told yet.
And what lie did you tell them that you told police?
And then I spent the story that, you know what I mean? Shit, I told her, goddamn it, you know, shit, these motherfuckers on me, so I put it up on everybody else, get them off me.
So you told Montunk that you told the...
I can't do it. I'm trying to. I got you.
So I want to be clear, because you said you told Montunk. So you told Montunk, I went to the police and I told them that Little D told me about what happened the night of the murder.
No, I told Montunk that the detective thought questioned me, and he let me right back out. I said, "The nigga dumb." Like, my bad. I said, I told Montunk that shit, you can tell the detective thought anything. He gonna go for it.
Did you tell him specifically about what Little D told you?
Little D never told me nothing. So this how I go. They done question me so many times. Even over the phone, they done call me. Now, who did this and that? Gaten. Who did this and that? Third. I ain't do it. I don't care nothing about it. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Why? I ain't in handcuffs, so I didn't really have to come up with no story.
I want to talk specifically about the June interview, okay?
Yes.
When you gave up most of the information.
Most of what information?
Did you tell Montunk that in that June interview, I told the detectives that little D told me what happened the night of the murder?
I told, okay, every time they question me, and I left, the one y'all didn't lock me up on, and I mean, I was telling the D, I mainly told the D, I mean, because I felt like the D always had my back, so I was telling the D what the police would question me about, and the answers that I was giving them, and the D like, damn, boy, you hell. Like, with Moontoon, I just like, shout to them, they own me, you feel me? Like, well, they trying to get me, you know what I mean? Like, I put off on Shell Kill, like, I just told Moontoon stuff like that.
So I'm asking you specifically, because this is my question. Did you ever tell Moontoon that you told police that little D told you what happened the night of the murder?
Well, I can't be specific about that because, like I said, I know I went back to Moontoon. I got into it with Moontoon because it's like I was telling him like, but they own me, and then I felt like he was starting stuff up. So yeah, I felt some type of way towards him.
So yes, you did tell him what
I told Moontoon, I feel like I was telling him that how I was spinning the police and he was creating a problem. So I stopped talking to Moontoon at one point. So I can't be specific on what I was telling him, but I just kept telling him that, you know, I told him that they asked about me and him. They asked about me, him, and, I mean, not me, him, but me, Doc, and Head. So they keep tying me to the murder, and I just kept throwing it off on shit. But they nutting them raw at the plug, this and then the third. Like, they just going for it. That's why I was telling. I can't really be specific on what I was saying because it was so long ago.
Let me ask you this. Did you tell Moontoon that it was Shannon, Nard, Yak, and Doo-Wop that shot Nut?
No, I mean, we don't discuss that. Like, I don't know nothing about saying none of that.
You said you also talked to Shannon about what you said to police. Did you tell Shannon that you told police that he, Yak, Doo-Wop, and Nard shot and killed Nut?
Why would I tell him that? You know what I mean, Shannon he probably was surprised to hear that I said that. So I don't.
Did you tell Thug that you told police that he drove the Infinity? That he rented the Infinity, that Shannon, Yak, Nard, and Doo-Wop were in the Infinity when the murder happened?
I didn't think this stuff was gonna come out, so because like I said, so I didn't tell them none of it. What I'm telling them that for? I don't want to.
And did you not tell them because you knew you snitched on them about what happened the night of the murder?
Huh? I can't snitch on nobody that I don't. Like I said, if I knew that the problems that I caused would have did this, like I said, you know what I mean, I didn't even think y'all would do this. So talking about I snitched on somebody, this ain't their case.
Let me ask you this. Outside of Deshaun, did you tell anyone what you told police about Yak, Shannon, Doo-Wop, and Nard killing Donovan Thomas?
I'm make sure you hear me this time. I don't know. I never seen Yak, Shannon, Doo-Wop, and Nard. They never told me they did anything to Donovan Thomas. I never saw them do anything to him. I'm not trying to defend nobody, no nothing. Y'all trying to use lies that I done told in the past against these men. And I'm just here to screen it up on my behalf that I lied. So you can't sit here and say I snitched on them for a crime that I don't know if they committed.
I'll ask a better question then. Did you ever tell anyone outside of Deshaun that you told police what Little D told you about the night of the murder?
You saying outside of Deshaun? I never told Deshaun that they did this. I told Deshaun that people were saying I killed Nut and I didn't do it. That's what I told Deshaun. And I told her that she needed to let the police know that I didn't do it.
And so I ask you again, did you tell anyone that you told police that Shannon and Yak killed Nut?
You said, did I tell the police?
Did you tell anyone that you told the police that Shannon and Yak killed Nut?
Did I tell anyone that I told the police that Shannon and Nut killed?
That Shannon and Yak killed Nut.
Not that I know. I don't know. You confusing me.
Now, so is it fair to say you never told anyone that you told the police that Yak and Shannon?
You trying to trap me up?
Sustained.
Did you ever tell anyone at all? Yes, no, or you don't remember?
I don't know that he's answered it, so I'm gonna overrule that.
It's either yes, no, I don't remember. Did you ever tell anyone that you told police that Yak and Shannon killed Nut?
I don't know how to answer that because I don't want to say yeah I did. I want to say no I didn't because I can't remember.
And can you not remember because you don't want to tell me an answer?
I've been telling you the answer since I've been in here. So what's the purpose of me getting up here saying now? Like I told you last week, or whenever I told you that if I would seen them, or if they would have told me that they killed Nut, I would sat right here and said that Shannon said he killed Nut, or Yet said he killed Nut. Neither one of those told me that. I told you that I was going through a phase in my life, you know what I mean, and trying to tell the police anything. Yeah, every time they question me, I told Moonton, hey, yeah, man, I just left down there, they trying to question, but they trying their best to put it on me. They trying to do that. Why they, I called him a squirrel brain back then. I said, man, that nigga detective story so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I told it to Ladie. Ladie laughed at me like, boy, you crazy. Like, I put it off on anybody to get them off of me because they keep coming at me. They keep trying to get me. They keep trying.
Earlier, did you say that I don't recall means I don't want to speak on it?
No, I said I don't recall because you're confusing me and I don't want to. You trying to make me lie. So you're asking the question in a way like you talked to me back there in a way I can comprehend you well. So even though I'm talking the way I'm talking, I can hear you, but I don't like my level of understanding is different. So if you talk to me like how you talk to me in a bad street way, then I can answer you better. But the way you ask me now is just like it seems like it's a trick question. You want me to say something? Just straight up say it to me.
Okay. Last week, do you recall when Mr. Weinstein asked you about an interview that you did recently?
With DJU.
Yes. And that I guess in the interview you were thanking God that you were not on this indictment. Do you remember Mr. Weinstein asking you that?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you thank God that your name wasn't on this indictment?
You said why I'm thanking God that I'm not on there?
Yes.
Because how y'all keep locking me up. Like, y'all done locked me up. Y'all locked me. They locked me up for looking at the police the wrong way. Like, so to see y'all lock up everybody and I'm so traumatized by keep going to jail. I'm already in jail at the time. So I'm already expecting y'all to come down there and get me again. So
the crimes that you talked about last week that you said you committed, you said that you shot up.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That you shot up Rich Homie Quan's dad's barbershop with threat. Do you remember?
I said it out of frustration.
Okay. Was that a crime that was done on behalf of YSL?
Huh?
Was that a shooting that was done on behalf of YSL?
Miss Hilton, you know me. You know what I mean? If I do anything on my own. Like, ain't no a crime on behalf of YSL. Like, I keep telling you, y'all trying to make YSL be a gang and all that. A gang, you got shot callers, you got structures, you got leaders and all of that. Like, YSL a label. So if like how y'all got all these peoples in here or whatever, you can't say that, oh, for instance, I got charged. Y'all charged me with a possession of a firearm and some possession of some pills, and the gang charge saying that I had these because I'm a gang member. No, I'm not a gang member. I don't have drugs. Had drugs because I'm a gang member. Like, but y'all making this stuff be what y'all want it to be because y'all can do that, but it's not right.
Back in 2015, did you have a beef with Rich Homie Quan?
No, I never had beef with Rich Homie.
And isn't it true that you told police that Thug had an issue with Rich Homie Quan because he brought some IF gang members to his condo?
No, Threat had issues with Rich Homie Quan.
I didn't ask about Threat. I asked
But-
about what you told police regarding Thug having an issue with Rich Homie Quan bringing individuals from IF gang to his apartment.
Thug was protecting Rich Homie Quan. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, like I keep telling y'all, don't have y'all facts together.
So I'm asking you a specific question. Did you tell police that Thug had an issue with Rich Homie Quan bringing members of IF gang to his condo?
Again, when I'm talking to the investigators, I'm gonna tell them anything to get them off of me. But as I sit right here, I'm telling you the God and the truth that Thug, I had an issue with Rich Homie through Threat, and about my partner, whatever he with, I'm with. They don't have nothing to do with YSL. Y'all trying to make it seem like this has some just because they don't have nothing to do what I do and what Threat do. They don't have nothing to do with YSL.
I still don't think I heard an answer. Did you tell police that Thug had an issue
I
with
think I
Rich
just answered
Homie
you.
Quan? I don't think you did. Oh, if you did, I did not hear you. So
Oh,
you
I'm
could
sorry.
please answer it.
Yeah, I said it. Thug was trying to protect Rich Homie. He was calling us saying that, man, hey man, leave Rich Homie alone. Like, he don't tell me what to do.
So that still didn't answer the question. Yes, no, I don't recall. Did Thug have an issue with Rich Homie Quan bringing members of IF gang to his apartment?
Thug, did you have an issue
what-
with Rich Homie?
I'm asking you for what you told the police.
And I'm answering you. I just told you several times. I tell the police anything.
Okay. Do you recall talking about the shooting at the studio with Rich Homie Quan's car last week with Mr. Shard?
I don't know nothing about that.
And you asked him if he had proof. He asked you if it was you who did it, and you asked him if he had proof.
Right.
Why was that your response to his question?
I ain't answering it. I don't know.
Was that shooting done on behalf of YSL?
What shooting?
At the studio? The
I-
one you asked him if he had proof of.
Yeah, because that was my first time hearing something about some shootings. I don't recall. I don't know. You talking about the shooting at the studio? If it,
Correct. Now, Mr. Shard, on cross-examination, I believe he said to you that you had time between January 11, 2015 and June 10th, 2015 to make up the lies that you told on your friends. Do you remember him asking you some questions around that?
can you ask me that again?
Sure. Last week, Mr. Shard asked you whether or not you had between January of 2015.
Okay, Rick, can you sustain, but with regard to being able to hear you, do you have I think the mics might be working now, so pick it up and,
I'm going to,
yes,
Is
it
it working?
works, yes.
I'm going to eject. That's a
Sustain.
mischaracterization of the testimony.
Do you recall testifying, Garza, maybe I had the question wrong, about what happened between January of 2015 and June of 2015?
Can you ask it again?
Sure. Let me just ask you this.
Yeah, that'd be nice if you would just get to what you want to ask instead of whether he recalls what he said last week or not. I mean, just skip that part.
Thank you,
Just
Your
get to
Honor.
the question you want to ask.
Thank you. On January 11th, you did not tell the detectives what you knew because you were trying to protect your friends, correct?
No, I told you I was raised to lie to the police. So if you look at my history, like police asked my name in the past, I told them somebody else's name. Nah, I just do that for no reason. I walking down the street, police, what's your name? I say, I give my little cousin's name. Driving without license, what's your name? I give him somebody else's name. So This is how we raised up.
And in this interviews, all these interviews, you gave them your real name, correct?
Cause they know who I am.
All right. And in all these interviews, you gave them your real phone number, correct?
Because you gotta understand, like, when you lying, you ain't lying to get caught.
But you said you just said you were raised to lie to the police. So, but you
Right.
didn't do that in these interviews.
I did it
correct?
to the ones who didn't know, like, know the information. That, like, for instance, with Gaten. Gaten knew my name and stuff. She knew my number. Why would I lie in?
But you didn't do that with Thorpe, correct?
Yeah, because what I had to do that for?
And you didn't do that.
I had
with,
to.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Yeah, because it didn't take a rocket science. So they talking about a murder. This is serious. This is serious. So you gotta come correct.
You didn't lie to Detective Curry about your name and who you
I don't
were.
know who that is.
The one who interviewed you after they shot at you, Deshaun and the baby. Correct?
I'm a victim.
All right. And in that June interview, when multiple detectives came and talked to you, you didn't lie to them about who you are, correct?
About who I was.
Who you was.
They knew who I was.
Okay.
It get to the point the police don't even ask me my name no more. They just walk up on me. Yeah, they already know everything about me.
In January of 2015, you hoped or you thought that your friends were going to protect you out in the street, correct?
I've been protecting myself since I've been protecting myself.
By the time June came, Shannon wasn't talking to you anymore, correct?
That's a lie.
Okay. If Gang wasn't shooting at you, correct? If Gang was shooting at you, correct?
You know who was shooting at me?
People from If Gang were shooting at you, correct?
I can't say for a fact.
In June, you thought that Thug was trying to kill you, correct? In June of 2015.
I was gonna use that for a platform to start problems with. So I use people to, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, yeah, I let people get in my head.
And by June of 2015, you thought that you were out here all by yourself, correct?
I still feel like I'm out here by myself. I'm just trying to keep myself free.
And that is why you told the police what you knew or what Little D told you about Nuts murder, correct?
Like D never told me anything. And again, if you ask me now, we can speak now. But you want to keep going in the past, I'm gonna keep telling you the same thing. Like, I didn't tell the police anything.
Now, you've known that you've had to testify in this trial since, or that you were going to be asked to testify since about November 2022, correct?
The way y'all played it, man, y'all kind of kept me in a blind. But I in my heart, I feel like y'all probably was gonna call me, but people would tell me that, oh, well, not people, but I was hearing that y'all won't call me because y'all knew I was lying. So until that day you can't see me in Pittsburgh, that's when I was like, oh damn, when that day you can't see me in Pittsburgh, I was like, dang, they for real.
And ever since you either heard about it in 2022 or I actually came to see you, you have not wanted to testify in this case, correct?
Say that, yeah, because I lied. I knew I lied. You can't put me up here to lie. Why you think I'm so scared because I don't know, I can't remember my lies. So it's just like, you don't know which one to lie and which one to truth. So you can just easily be like, well, you lying, we'll lock you up. I ain't trying to go back to jail.
And for the last 2 years, you've been trying to figure out how you want to get around having to face your YSL counterparts about what you told the police back in 2015, correct?
If anybody know me, they better be serious with me.
And you made up in your mind that you were going to tell this jury whatever it is that you were going to finesse, that you were finessing the police back in 2015, correct?
I had no intentions in sitting in front of this jury. Y'all forced me to sit up here. Y'all gave me immunity. I told y'all I lied and I'm gonna plead the fifth.
And because we forced you, you had to figure out how to finesse your way through testifying in front of this jury, correct?
I'm not finessing my way. I'm telling my truth. Like, and this just that.
Now, in 2015, you consistently said you told the police whatever you could to get yourself out of jail, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And your finessing was about you getting out of jail, correct?
And me only.
It was never about protecting Thug back in 2015, correct?
And it still ain't about right now. It's like And you might try to say I'm protecting him now. It's just my conscience. You know what I mean? My conscience knows this man ain't did anything. And I'm not trying to have it on my conscience.
But in 2015, when you talked to the police in any of those 2015 interviews, you always omitted your roles in crimes because that would make sure that you did not go to jail, correct?
I don't understand
Sure.
you.
In 2015, when you talked to the police about crimes that you were involved in, you left yourself out of it, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Because that would make sure that you didn't go to jail, correct?
What you mean?
When you talked to the police, you didn't tell them about your role in Rich Homie Quan's dad's barbershop shooting, correct?
Did they ask me about that?
You told them that Rich Homie Quan wanted to pay money for Threat to shoot up the barbershop, or wanted to pay people to harm Threat because he shot up the.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make the police believe that I can help them. So a lot of stuff I told them back then is just like, okay, I'm the key. I'm the one with all the information. You know what I mean? So that was my motive back then.
Okay.
So I was speaking on a lot of stuff that, you know what I mean? Like anything to make the police feel like, oh, I know all the business. I can tell them everything they want to know.
So again, you didn't tell them about your part in shooting up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop, right?
Did I tell them about my part?
Correct. You did not tell the police that you and Threat shot up the barbershop, did you?
So what, you gonna charge me now?
I didn't say that. I'm just asking you a question. Did you tell the police back in 2015 that you and Threat shot up the barbershop?
No.
Right. Because telling them would not let you get out of jail, right? If you told them that, you would get in trouble for that, correct?
Well, anybody get hurt? So I ain't think no. My whole thing is lie to the police. So I'm not going to tell them the truth about nothing that took place for real. Especially what got something to do with me.
All right. Also, you didn't tell them about your parts and the stolen items that were found in your house in June of 2015, correct?
They told me about some stolen stuff that they found.
But you didn't tell them about your part and those stolen items being found in the home, correct?
And Dunbar?
Yes.
What you mean?
You told them it was Little Mike and Quez, correct?
I don't get what you asked me though. I told the police that I gave them their names. Yeah. That's what you asked?
So you did not tell the police about any crimes that you were involved in, correct?
I wasn't committing crimes, see, on the behalf of nobody but myself. Anything I do is beneficial to myself. If that's what you asking, I don't get what you asking me.
Right. Anything is beneficial to yourself.
I don't take shots for nobody. Can't nobody tell me what to do. Nobody knows able to tell me what to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless.
So when you were meeting with police, you did things that were beneficial for you, correct?
What they mean?
You just said I did things that's beneficial for me. That's what you just said, right?
I'm saying, like my anything. I'm a selfish person. If that's what you ask me.
So when you were in those interviews, it was all about self-preservation for you, correct? You want to do anything so that you did not go to jail, right?
That's what I said.
Okay. So even if that meant telling on your friends, that's what you were going to do so that you did not go to jail, correct?
No. Telling on my friend would be like, okay, Bobby robbed this store, and Bobby did rob the store, and it's proof that Bobby robbed the store, and I was with Bobby when he robbed the store. But making up things saying, okay, Bobby shot Tony. Bobby was over there somewhere else where he could prove that he ain't had nothing to do with it. It wouldn't make sense. They're just getting the police off me. That's what I was doing.
So the finesse was, I'm going to tell the police what I know about the murder because that's going to keep me out of jail. But I'm not going to tell them what I've done because that's also going to keep me out of jail, correct?
No, my whole thing was, I don't got nothing to do with nothing, and nothing don't got nothing to do with me. So when I'm talking to the police, they so convinced that I did this crime, and they not going for the stuff I done told them in the past. So I'm just keep trying to talk my way out of it, and I'm making stuff. I'm stupid at the time.
And the finessing that you did to police back in 2015 is always and only was going to be about you and what you needed, correct?
I don't get what you're asking me.
You told Mr. Weinstein last week that you were a BSer. Do you remember telling him that last week?
You told me that yourself one day we was in the back talking.
Do you remember telling Mr. Weinstein that last week?
Yes.
And right now, you're still trying to finesse this jury because it's still always about you, correct?
I'm not trying to finish this jury. I'm trying to be God under you, trying to get up out of here so I can move on with my life. And that's it.
You're still YSL, correct?
What you mean? Am I still YSL?
And you're still YSL for life, correct?
I don't get what you're saying. Like,
You're still YSL for life. That's what you said in
But-
the off the porch video, correct?
but you trying to make it seem like it's a game though. That my only purpose is it's not a game. So you saying what you saying. If you drop the game, like you confusing like a more.
All I'm asking you is, are you still YSL for life?
Am I still YSL for life?
Yes.
I don't know how to answer that. Like I don't know.
And what you're doing and what you've been doing for the last couple of months that you've been on the stand is you're still trying to stay loyal to YSL, correct?
If that was the case, I wouldn't even be up here lying on them. If I'm trying to be loyal to them, I wouldn't be trying to lie and put the blame off on them.
And you feel guilty now because you told the police what Shannon, Yak, Thug's involvement was in the murder of Donovan Thomas back in 2015, correct?
No, ma'am. I feel guilty because I have put my hand in some stuff that I should never even done. It's a difference. Like I keep telling you, if I knew that these boys did this and that I saw them do that, and I can say for facts they did this.
And matter of fact, in the October interview, October 2021 interview, you talked to Investigator Viverito about what you told police back in 2015, correct?
Probably so.
Okay. And you talked to her about the fact that you feel guilty. Do you recall doing that?
I said I talked to her about. I do. I have a conscience. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all caught me in a vulnerable in 2015. Y'all caught me in a vulnerable state, and then you know what I mean. I was going through a lot. I have done so much stuff, and it was just like, and police got me, and I'm trying to throw the blame off on other people that I should never did.
And in 2021, 7 years later, you told Investigator Viverito, what I told you back then was the truth, correct?
Because you gotta understand. So I know you don't know. Viverito, those people touch us. You feel me? Like they literally sit there and follow us around and pull the car over, lock us up because they know we don't have a license. Like they constantly do that like on a daily basis. So when I'm in front of them, I already know they about to lock me up. And I'm just Viverito, she's better than Gaten because she know how to play on you good. And I knew she was playing on me and I was trying to play back on her. I was trying to convince them that I would be truthful with them.
And did you tell her that I told them everything in 2015, but no one ever helped me out?
I never needed nobody help because my only thing was, shit, I knew they was playing on me, but like I said, they sitting here, I didn't want to go to jail. If I could prolong it out or they go for what I'm saying, then hopefully I can get out of here.
So what you're saying, what you told Investigator Viverito was not the truth.
What I'm telling you is, I mean, June, whatever date you said, when they questioned me, I have made it up. I told you that before you put me on the stand in front of the jury. The jury didn't even have to hear or see me. But y'all still forced me up here. I told you I was going to plead the fifth, and y'all were like, why would I plead the fifth? And I told y'all why, because I lied. So don't put me up here and expect for me to say something that is a lie. If you ask me the truth, and I can tell you the truth. And the truth is, I didn't see these boys commit no crime. I'm not trying to protect nobody. I don't even know some of them over there.
Your Honor, they would like to attend the State Exhibit 3078 Yankee Frank and play portions of the October 2021 interview. Well, first,
You may. Tell me that number again also, please.
yes, Your Honor, 378 Yankee Frank.
Okay. Any of y'all need a restroom break? If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, let me know. It would be a good time to take one. Y'all all good? All right. Have some details we need to sort out.
I can leave out
Yes, thank you.
for how long?
Just stay close, 5 minutes at least. Probably more. All right, so yeah, Mr. Short, you were saying that this was not one of the statements that we had kind of litigated in detail or at all, and I think that's right. And Ms. Hilton has 4 specific little excerpts, but instead of trying to sort that out up here, let's just, if you'll go ahead and put on the record what those are and let the defense attorneys have a chance to see what you're talking about and whether there are any objections that we need to go ahead and sort out without the jury being present.
And we can play it right now. It's only about 2 minutes in total, Your Honor, the 4 sections.
I'd really not want to hear it 2 and 3 and 4 times if necessary. If we've got a transcript of it, do we have a transcript of it? Do the defense attorneys have a transcript of it? All right, just reference the page numbers.
And Your Honor, I have a copy for the court.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may. All right.
You're on the first portion is on page 12. And it goes through page 13, line, page 12, line 13 through page 13, line 18. And it says, Investigator Flores, what you want to do. Then Kenneth Copeland says this, no. And they told me, I told them everything that I knew about in this situation. Investigator Rivera says about what?
I can read it. I mean, we can all read it. We don't need you to read it out for us. Any issue as to that? And it may be that there are some unintelligibles that aren't unintelligible that might be problematic. So I guess that part you could fill me in on.
I would need to go back, but I believe essentially he's saying I told them everything that I knew back then. That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Any issues with that being played?
Why is it being played? Why is the out of court statement being played?
Your Honor, it's impeachment by contradiction. Mr. Copeland has again testified that everything he said in 2015 is a lie. In 2021, they can see his demeanor about how when he's talking to Investigator Viverito, Investigator Flores, he is referencing everything he said back in 2015 is not a lie, that he gave them information. He gave them what he knew about what happened in 2015. And so this would be a contradiction to what he's now testifying to in court.
Okay, all right. By the time this is going on in 2021, right?
This yes.
Interview with Viverito.
Yes.
So he's given all of the 2015 statements, right? The January and February ones, but also the June one.
Correct. And he's now telling them what I told you all back in 2015 was true. Like I told you these things. I told you what I knew. And he says them multiple times in this interview to again negate this idea that everything he said in 2015 is a lie. In 2021, he's telling the police when he's in custody, I told you things in the past that were true, and I ended up getting tortured. This is on, and you're right, we did actually talk about this statement last week, because this is on the heels of us discussing, it's in this interview that he discusses the plot to kill Shell Kell. And we talked about the fact that the state could not get into the fact that he plotted on Shell Kell or that he knew about a plot to kill Shell Kell, but there were specific areas that we said we were going to get into. We weren't going to talk about the Shell Kell plot, but in this interview, he talks about the fact that what he knew in 2015 was true or was accurate, was verifiable. And so that's what this portion is, Your Honor.
I guess I don't agree with the state's characterization of his testimony here today. He's saying that he has lied on these gentlemen in the past, and he is in court telling the truth, and that it was a lie before. I don't recall him specifically limiting when he lied or how he lied. So to me, this is just bolstering, and it's just pointing out that he's made the same statement more than once, which I don't believe that is a path to admissibility.
But the fact that he is now saying in court in 2024, I lied to the police. In 2021, it's a prior inconsistent statement because he's telling the police in 2021 that what I said back in 2015 is true. So now
No, he's not saying it's true. He's saying that's everything I knew. And what he has said on the stand is every time I have ever talked to the police in my entire life, I have lied to them. And that would include this 2021 interview. You haven't had him say that yet, but
that's the point, Your Honor. When he says here, I didn't have any parts. What I did was I heard after the fact things. I said everything I knew when
let him.
Sorry.
She's not gonna be able to take that down.
Sorry. And I said everything I knew when I went through that. He's now telling this jury, I never told the police anything Little D told me. What I told the police about what Little D told me is a lie. This is what he's saying now. What he said in 2021 is, I told the police everything that I knew, which is what Little D told him.
Well, that's your version of it.
But when you continue to look at the other sections, Your Honor, that will illuminate what.
Okay, let's look at the next section.
The next section is page 28, line 15 through 16.
So he doesn't appear to be talking on lines 15 and 16 about the same thing that we've been talking about here in court. That appears to be about something else, doesn't it?
No, so that's what I said, Your Honor. So this interview starts with Copeland going into, after he's arrested, he goes into the interview and he's like, I have information I can provide.
Right.
The information that he can provide is about a plot to kill Shell Kel.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to page 55 and he starts at line 12, there's a murder.
We were on page 28.
Excuse me, page 28, line 12.
Okay.
When he starts there. This is a murder that's about to take place with some very bad people. Bad people. The stuff that I know right now, you know what I mean, should be good enough, I think he says, to get out of my situation. You know what I mean? I'm not bullshitting. You know, the last information I gave y'all was right. The last information that he gave was about 2015. That is what he's talking about here. And then I can further continue.
Do you have something that establishes that that's what he's talking about?
Yes, he tells Investigator Viverito, I think earlier, and I'll find the page, because he keeps bringing this up in front of Investigator Flores. Investigator Flores doesn't know about what happened in 2015. So Investigator Viverito says, are you talking about this stuff in 2015? He wasn't here. So you have to give him some more information because Flores wasn't around in 2015. So the context of this is he's referencing what occurred back in 2015.
So where's that part?
Let me find it.
Even before then, like before we ever get to page 12, what are they asking him about?
So before you get to page 12, when he gets into the interview room, he's about to get arrested and he begins to tell them that he has information about some stuff that's going on tonight. getting ready to happen tonight. He then proceeds to tell them he's not going to give up a lot of information because previously when he's given up information, no one ever helped him out. So then he proceeds to give a little bit of information, but to say, I'm not going to give you much because when I've done this in the past, no one has helped me out. So what he's talking about is in 2015, when he gave information to Gaither and Dennis, no one helped him out. He still had to go to the feds. He still had to go to jail. So throughout this interview, when he makes references to the past, he's making references to what he told police back in 2015. About when was she explaining to Miss I'm getting it on page 12, right? At line 25, going to page 13, line 2. And Flora says, because you know I wasn't there, this is my first time meeting. So he's talking about, he being Cole was talking about 2015, and Flores doesn't know what he's referencing because he wasn't around in 2015 when all this stuff occurred. And that's why he said, so you have to fill me in. So that's when he goes into the paragraph that we want to play, which is start at line 12.
Yeah, I'm just looking for anything that lets me know or lets me have any comfort that when he says, I told them everything I knew about this situation last time, that's everything I knew, that he is talking about whatever he told police in 2015 about the Donovan Thomas murder, because I don't see any reference to that before he starts saying this. I mean, he's saying on page 9, they're saying, you want to talk about today.
Correct, Ryan, but when he's talking about the last time,
Yeah.
I think that Mr. Copeland, there are no other interviews between APD and Mr. Copeland between June 2015 and October 2021. So he does not ever meet with the Atlanta Police Department ever again until this occurred. So when he's getting locked up, he's referencing, and he even talks about Gaither, and I'll find where he talks about Gaither in here, that he didn't trust Gaither, or Gaither didn't help him out essentially. And so his whole reference is about 2015. And if we continue to page 144, line 25 through 145, line 15.
So what does he say on 9 through 10? Everything I knew about what happened with that unintelligible situation.
Are you on page 144?
145. I mean, I do see he says everybody felt I had something to do with it. So that at least is some kind of circumstantial indication that he might be talking about the Donovan Thomas murder.
And if you give me course indulgence, please go to 7,
Yeah.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Answer your question. According to my notes, the unintelligible on line 10 is same.
Is what?
Same.
Same.
Yeah, with that same situation.
Okay.
And then I also talked to that he talks about Gaither.
All right.
And then, Your Honor, he mentions Gaither on page
So what's the other
section.
part, the other
The
section?
last section, Your Honor, is page 168, line 18 through page 169, line 2.
All right, and so is your position that he's essentially like protesting in this interview? Look, I told y'all what I knew, which was the God's honest truth the last time, and y'all didn't do anything to help me. And that establishes that he, at least in 2021, and your position is saying what I told you in 2015 was true. And that's inconsistent with what he's saying on the stand today in the past few weeks, which is everything was a lie.
Yes.
I mean, whether that actually accomplishes that or not, I guess will be up to the jury, but
Well,
yes, sir.
before it gets to the jury, I just don't know of any rule of evidence that allows someone to reiterate in between the time of the original statement and testifying. Okay, we'll say those two things are inconsistent. I don't know why a statement made in between those two times would be admissible as either a prior inconsistent or prior consistent statement. It just seems like we're at this point using another out-of-court statement to bolster the June 10th, 2015 statement.
So I think the state's position is that Mr. Copeland is now saying, he's now disavowing everything he said in 2015 and saying all of that was a lie. And it's only here today that I'm telling the truth. Everything before was a lie. And here is something prior to today that is him saying the exact opposite of what he is saying today. So it is inconsistent in that way.
So his disavowing prior statements certainly has happened, and he's disavowed it. To me, as I've listened to the testimony, he hasn't specified, oh, I disavowed the June 10, 2000. He said every time I talk to the police, it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what playing another statement, which he's already saying is a lie, what that is accomplishing. I just don't see this. To me, the state needs to outline a path, an exception to admit a out of court statement. And I'm not seeing the exception to the general rule that out of court statements would not be admitted into trial.
Do you want to speak to that, Ms. Hilton?
I believe the court said in its analysis that you just gave, what he's saying in court now in June of 2024 is inconsistent with what he has said in any of his interviews to police. And in 2021, 6 years after he gave his initial statement, he is still telling the police in 2021, what I told you in 2015 was true. You all didn't help me in 2021. What I told you all then is what I knew. I gave you the information. That is inconsistent with what he is saying now in court, that he's just finessing the police, that he's just telling them whatever. And the jury can determine if they believe what he's saying now in court, or if they believe what he told the police back in 2015 and in 2021. They can make that decision. But this is an inconsistent statement with what his court testimony is.
But isn't someone in 2021 saying what I told you in 2015 is the truth, was the truth? Isn't that exactly what we don't allow in the trials, is someone self-bolstering their own statements? Like, I mean, if I make a statement and then I just go around town and tell everyone, hey, that statement I made is the truth, that statement I made is the truth, are we going to have a trial where we call in 100 people to say I said it was the truth?
Yeah. So, I mean,
But
Ms. Hilton, is your position that even though he is saying on the stand, everything I said before was a lie and what I'm saying today is the truth, that it's in fact the opposite of that?
Yes, what we believe that what he told the police back in 2015 and in 2021 was true. Like that's the state's position now.
And that he is now, you believe, lying on the stand.
Correct. The state believes he is lying on the stand, saying that what he said back then isn't true. But even
And that his motive for doing so is,
we believe his motive for doing so is that he's now present and has to deal with what he said back in 2015, now sitting in front of the individuals he tested or he talked to police about. He now has to confront his own statements in front of these defendants who he talked about back in these interviews in 2015.
and so he's trying to wiggle out of it today.
He's trying to wiggle out of what he told the police back then, back in 2015. And furthermore, in 2021, he's asserting again what he said back then was true, but now he's trying to tell this jury that everything he's always said is a lie. But in 2015, with no prompting from anyone else, he brings up what he told police in 2015. Investigator Verito didn't ask him about what he said in 2015. With his own prompting, he told the detectives his first line, which is on page 12.
All right, so I think that this would come in under 24-6-613 C, that essentially right now he has, and I'm not saying he does, but the state's position is that he currently today has a motive to lie, and that this 2021 position he took with the police is before that motive to lie arose, and it's prior to that. Although honestly, it's not a consistent statement, then it's an inconsistent statement. So, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, you've already rehashed a lot of this, and I think we're just kind of plowing the same ground.
And furthermore, counsel brought up this interview One, by playing the jail calls that they played. This is the interview that was leaked. And I believe Mr. Shar asked a line of questioning about this particular interview. I think he ended up asking the question. He was getting ready to play the video, but he did not play the video. I think he asked questions regarding this interview, and I would have to find the exact clip when he actually was going to play this interview for the jury. But I think he ended up just asking a question because there might have been some technical difficulties with the interview itself. So this interview has been discussed. The portions are about 2 minutes total. And more importantly, Your Honor, the last section is what I just asked him about, which is feeling guilty about having to confront or be around thugs. And what he says in this,
It's the same thing. I feel guilty about it. He doesn't say why he feels guilty about it.
on page 24, he does. He says, on page 168, he does say why he feels guilty. He says, you don't understand how it makes me feel when I go around. You want to know? I think he says, know the truth. When I go around, dude, I know what I done. So I don't want to be around him because of guilt. That's why I don't want to be around, because I'm afraid.
And you fill in the blank about what the reason for that guilt is.
He says it here. He says, I know the information that I gave. Y'all sit here and play like this ish ain't valuable.
Which could be, I ratted him out, or could be, I totally made up something on him, and he doesn't specify which.
But we believe when you look at the totality of it all, our argument is that he is talking about the fact that he gave up information.
Okay, but this doesn't establish that this is inconsistent with what he's saying on the stand. You need to move on to another topic. I'm not going to allow this. I'm going to give you this back.
Thank you.
All right, let's get the jury back out. Hank.
Last part was nothing.
None of it. Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Sultan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Copeland, you've told the jury Now, Deshaun, you would agree with me, Deshaun is not the police, correct?
Can you say it again?
Deshaun, she's not the police, right?
Right.
She's the mother of your child, your daughter, correct?
Correct.
And in 2015, and through 2019, when you were in custody, she was taking care of your daughter, correct?
Can you say that again?
In 2015, she was taking care of your daughter, correct?
Correct.
And you would agree that at least back then in 2015, you loved her?
Can you say that again?
Sure. In 2015, you loved Deshaun, correct?
I still do today.
All right. And you cared about her, correct?
I still do today.
And back in 2015, Deshaun was the person who was trying to get you a bond. Like she was trying to help you get a bond, correct?
How she gonna do that? She not the judge.
No, she was trying to get you the money for the bond, correct? To help pay
Oh,
the
she was
bond.
doing what I asked her to do.
And she's someone that you confided in, correct?
What you mean?
She's someone that you talked to, that you trusted with what you told her, correct?
I don't trust nobody.
But Deshaun was someone who can see right through you, correct?
You can't even see right through me.
I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Deshaun.
No.
Deshaun isn't someone that you could finesse, correct?
Say that again.
Deshaun is not someone that you could finesse, correct?
She not somebody I can confess.
Finesse.
And what make you figure that?
And in 2015, you talked to her repeatedly on these jail calls, correct?
Yes.
And you talked to her about what you felt.
I talked to her about what I felt.
Yes. Your feelings.
All right.
You talked to her about your interviews with the police.
I'm listening.
You talked to her about what you told the police, correct?
I talked to her about what I wanted to tell her.
And you told her everything that you were feeling back in 2015, correct?
No.
Right.
Cause I didn't. No.
I want to play for you what's already been admitted as Stacey Exhibit 394Y. And I'm only going to play from 7:50 to 11:24.
Right now?
Yes.
Oi. Yeah. Tô.
Yeah, I just know I ain't tell you, cause I ain't want you to be worried and then like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Shannon act like it toward me.
Okay.
So I said, "But man, I ain't had nothing to do with what's man going on. If I let you take me with my family, man, I just go out like a sucker."
Yeah.
I mean, but they say they gonna move me so everybody do their thing and like it, and then they got see how everything work. And they like shit. They need D tell them what happened, cause D told me what happened. So I mean, they can't go out with
They told you what happened with
about what happened to they know what's going on with that shit, man.
Talking about what that?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, when D tell them and they see that I ain't just making that up and they ain't lying, stuff like that, then they gonna help.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna tell Chad now. I just tell you, cause I know you.
So did you tell Deshaun that D just has to tell them what he told me?
Can you say that again?
Did you tell Deshaun right there in that call that D just needs to come down and tell them what they told me.
I did. See, one thing about me, I know they recorded my call. And that was after they locked me up. I knew they was playing me in the interview.
And did you also tell her that once D comes down there, then they'll believe that what I tell them is the truth?
Because that's what I was expecting.
So what's up? You feel what I'm saying? You know that test.
Trey, no, everybody gonna know.
Yeah. I mean, so it's just me and your sister. We gotta take them to the graveyard. That's all right.
Yeah, why you trip with Devo?
I ain't telling y'all this.
You just told me you did.
No,
I
ain't telling you that. I just told him.
You just said you did.
Listen, I'm telling you what I don't. I was just like, hey, bro, if I ever need you, you'll be right here. You feel? I like, bro. Don't let me down, bro. You feel?
You just said you told him. Cause you.
Listen, bro. I only told
Yeah.
you. I only told you. You the only person I told.
Woody, which one you gonna say? Cause you why'd you lying?
You're not listening to me, bro. I told him, listen. I just asked him like, hey, bro, would you ever be able to?
You just switched the whole thing up.
No, you're not. I just told you I let him know, like, I was just letting him know, like, bro, if I was to come to you with a situation, would you help? And he was like, yeah, bro. I like, sure, bro, cause I helped him when he came down here, you feel? So one thing I know, when Evo come in here, he not gonna lie. You know what I mean? He don't want to play with these people, bro.
You had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
You still playing it?
No, we stopped it. Now I want to play for you what's been tendered and will be admitted as State's Exhibit 404Y.
Y'all need to listen to it?
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call.
Hang on a second. We'll try our backup system. All right. Let's try it first. You can hear it. Try not setting your mic off.
Maybe. Okay.
I missed that.
Nope. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be. No. Nope. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. See if you can play the audio. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Just give it a try. Nope.
This is a prepaid collect call from Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from an inmate at Fulton County Jail.
Can you hear it, Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Maybe if everybody turned the lights off and we just played the exhibit. Like the back at the end of the
All of our methods.
nobody else. I choose another. Does that thing? All right.
is sporadic. First, turn off the backup system. Clearly, doing their own. And maybe our system will work. In the meantime, IT proceeds. Maybe they'll have another idea for fixing it. I don't know. Clearly, the backup is not the answer. Yeah, let's just break until we maybe have this fixed.
Can we get Mr. Copeland back? Do we have either Mr. Steele or Mr. Adams on the others? Well, is anybody let them know to come back? There's Mr. Kokomo. All right. All right. There he is. We have everybody else. Queued up with what you want to, assuming we have sound that stays with us. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know why, but the first sound system is back up. So we're gonna try to use that while we can. And I just cannot apologize more for, I mean, I know that your time is valuable and I just hate that we keep having to essentially just lose chunks of time from this trial because we can't get our sound system to consistently work. And I am trying to do whatever I can to get that remedied. Anyway, let's just go ahead while we've got the sound.
And you're right, we're gonna play from 1240 to 1430. And this is on Stacey's Exhibit 406. Why?
Crazy. Try that nigga showing me, that nigga showing me, the tip was showing, the other, I was getting the video with Doug saying, I just kept saying, I thinking myself, that nigga trying to make sure like it's me so they can lock me up, bro. And the whole time, that shit, like he trying to set me up, bro. Like, that shit got me so mad, bro. Like, she keep putting my name, she nigga know damn.
They didn't go off of what song, right?
Nah, it did. Bro, these folks already coming at me, these shooting at us nowadays about something you know I ain't do. Why the hell would you put these songs out there and have folks really thinking I did this? You know what I'm saying? It's a damn face. He should have put these names down. If you gonna rap about this, he should have put their names down who did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I fucking put my name in no shit, bro. I try to be out there with my family, bro. I wouldn't even fuck with these niggas, bro. Period, bro. The only reason I called them just to see something. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want them folks to be nasty, bro. Like. Anyway, every time I think about shit, it makes me mad. I'm just saying, these niggas out there with family and shit. The whole time, I ain't have nothing to do with that. I mean, I was just touching people, bro. He need to get that shit. I ain't even have no problem with it, bro. Like, this shit so crazy. They ain't have no problem. They had a problem with Thor, bro.
Who had a problem with those? Nothing.
Yeah, all them. Yeah. They didn't, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, cause I supposed to, I mean, they think I supposed to be hanging.
They talking about, where?
1428. Now, Mr. Copeland, in that portion of that jail call, that's you talked to Deshaun, correct?
Yes.
And in that call, you talked about the fact that Thug put you inside of a song, correct?
Yes.
And you didn't like the fact that that song had been released at this point because people are thinking that you did something, correct?
Yes.
And that's what got you upset, correct?
That's what it say.
And were you upset about that? That he put your name in a song?
You sure right about that.
Okay. And when you said these N-words are shooting at us and all this is about something you know I ain't do, what are you talking about?
Exactly what I said. Somebody didn't do.
Okay. So who is the shooting at us? Who's the us you are referring to?
Whoever was behind that gun.
You said they're shooting at us.
Me,
Wait.
Deshaun, and my little girl.
This is in June of 2013, June of 2015. So that's who you're referring to?
Well, I can't be specific who I was preferring, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was talking about. Shit, I'm the only one ever getting shot at.
And when you said you're going to rap about it, put their names, who did it?
Huh?
When you said to Deshaun, why the hell would you put these songs out there and have folks really think I did this shit? You feel what I'm saying? This N-word, this N, know for a damn fact. He should have put these N name in it. You going to rap about it, put their names, who did it.
Right. So if you go back and look, I said that after the interrogation. So anytime before that, and I was in jail, I never said that. I knew that they were gonna be listening to my calls.
Okay. You said you feel what I'm saying. Don't put my effing name in no shit. Did you tell Deshaun this?
That's what it said.
And I'm trying to be with my family. I ain't messing with, well, you didn't say messing. I ain't fucking with these N-words, bro, period. Only reason I called them was just to see something. I don't want these folks to do nothing for me, bro.
That's what I said.
And who didn't you want them doing anything for you?
You talking about 10 years ago.
Then you further said to her, I had nothing to do with nothing. I was at the house sleep. These N-words did this shit. I had no problem with this N-word nut, bro. This shit's so crazy, man. They had a problem with Thug, bro. Who had a problem with Thug? Nut and them, and your response was Kel and them, correct?
That's what I said.
And this is what you're telling Deshaun, correct?
That's what we just heard.
The person that you trust and the person that you confide in.
And you heard her keep telling me, why am I lying? She
didn't
said
say-
she see right through me, right?
She didn't say that on this call, though, did she? Did she say that on this call? Did you hear her say that on this call?
Oh, I heard her say it, so
Did you hear her say it in the call I
none
just
of the
played?
clip you just played.
All right. So next I want to play for you State's Exhibit 407Y. And we're going to start at 328.
I don't know what to do.
Crazy.
What they say?
What you say?
I don't know. I ain't called back. I was talking about what the I was forgetting something.
I ain't talked to him.
Mm.
I know this is all right.
Mm.
You hear me?
Oh, yeah.
And then they thinking I'm doing everything for sure. So they thinking in me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can get about 25 years.
They don't even have no evidence.
Time to
No proof. They don't have no proof or no evidence.
know the field different. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, but they don't have no proof, no evidence, and you know you ain't doing it, then why you stressing yourself out?
No, it ain't about it. It's about it's everything them niggas doing, man. Like they thinking of me, then you know you already put my name in them songs and stuff. So much what I do. I mean, he making me folks thinking me was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is on another level. You know what I mean? This shit ain't got nothing to do with shit. It ain't got nothing to do with that. When home getting killed, it ain't got nothing to do with it. It got something to do with all them houses getting shut up, all them guns, all that. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to do with none of this shit. You know I went to hang with them. You feel me? But I just got to prove that I ain't have nothing to do with none of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to tell you. Don't tell nobody. I don't tell
I
nobody.
ain't told nobody.
Huh?
I ain't told nobody.
Yeah, I know that. Shit crazy, man. Told her.
Why you should told? You
Huh?
put up with what?
What you say?
Why you infiltrate one $50 they gonna get you down there?
I can't hear you.
Why you think you infiltrate for buying the $50 they gonna get you on your book?
What, to you?
To put on your book? Cause he ain't getting out of there yet. He probably trying to see him and so he never get the $50 they gonna get you on your book.
He's gonna give me some money from himself. Like, he's gonna come up with my own. I just ain't, they trying to kill it now. I ain't got a chance to tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want me to text him?
Yeah, text me. And that's, did he come put money on the book?
Hold on. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to cancel for him.
You sound like you in me with that right now, bro.
Because
It's my fault, I know. It's always my fault.
I ain't seen your fault.
She won't nobody give me that. Shit, what time is it?
11:24.
You know what I'm saying, man? I need to get into a gate.
Who?
A gate.
Who?
Gate.
You know how to get to Troy.
You want to try to call on two-way?
You finished?
No, still playing.
04291. your password. Please enter your password. Mailbox number, please. Sorry, could not find a mailbox for that number. Please enter the mailbox number specified by your system manager.
Hello.
Please enter the mailbox number specified by your system manager. Sorry you were having trouble. Please try again later. Goodbye.
What? Nobody in my background. I just said I'm here by myself.
Hello.
Yeah.
Anybody even went to your window? Saying about your window.
Hello, what?
About your window.
You said they went there?
I said ain't nobody went to the window.
I know.
I'm cleaning the kitchen.
Well, that's time you start spreading around running.
Huh?
They need to start spreading around rumors.
Yeah, but
I'm not funny. So,
I need to get Tommy though.
who they?
Catch me a brother who I always be speak to, Johnny Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I need to ask him if he be able to help me out on my bun.
He know that's money. I wish he'd go turn. He said, ask him, did you check to see was it on there?
Tell him I couldn't go out there, eh?
Let me see.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes. Nisha too.
I just let me get me out of trouble, bro. How about somebody to do, man?
You have 1 minute remaining on your call.
You can play them, but you won't play on the issue while
Okay.
when you said it was on there, can't you call me from your book?
I can't hear you.
Can't you call me from your book now?
So, KJ.
He said, he said like it was on there, so can't you call me from your book?
I'm gonna try to check to see if it's on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
I need you to be there for me.
Hold on, I'm here.
I'm just trying to my book is call you, right?
All right.
And Mr. Copeland, in that call, did you again tell tell Deshaun, that he's already putting my name in songs and stuff about what I do? He's making these folks think it's me doing it. You're staring. Do you have a response?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you tell Deshaun that?
we just heard it.
Okay. So that a yes?
I said, yeah.
All right. And that this shit is on another level. This shit ain't got nothing to do with homes getting killed. It got something to do with all those houses getting shot up.
That's what I said.
All right. And all them guns Thug got.
That's what I said.
Okay. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. I was just not just hanging with them. I just got to prove I got nothing to do with none of this. You know what I mean?
That's what I said.
All right. And then later on in the call, you said, I let these N-words get me in trouble for something I did not even do, man. Do you recall hearing yourself say that?
That's what I said.
All right. Now, these are 3 jail calls that we played. all of these were between you and Deshaun, correct?
That's what we heard.
And on June 10th, you told Deshaun, not say June 10th, on that first call, you told Deshaun again that when D comes down and tell them, they will see that you're not lying, correct? You testified to this jury that Demekion never told you about Nutt's murder, correct?
That's what I said.
So which one is it? Is it what you told Deshaun on his jail call, the woman that you love, or what you telling this jury here today?
What I'm telling the jury today is that Ladie never told me that.
Okay. But that's not what you told the mother of your child in a jail call back in 2015.
And you heard her telling me to stop lying. So she know that how I am.
Did you hear her say stop lying in the call I just played for you?
She said, what are you telling to me? Like, just stop. You heard her, man. She get no different treatment from nobody else. I'm not trying to drag her in nothing I got going on.
And what were the houses that you were referring to when you told her these houses getting shot up?
Whatever houses that were being shot up.
Okay. And do you know which ones you were talking about in this particular?
No, I do not.
Okay. And what guns were you talking about?
None.
So why would you tell her that?
Because I'm in jail. Like, I don't know.
Isn't it true, Mr. Copeland, that when you talk to Deshaun, she's not the police? She's not anyone you have to finesse, that you told her exactly what was happening back in 2015?
Miss Hilton, you heard her say out of her mouth, why am I keep lying? I did say this, and why am I switching my... You doing it to yourself, just stop.
In these last two calls, she never said anything about lying, did she?
No, she didn't.
And Mr. Copeland, is it fair to say that you still love Shannon?
Yes, I do.
You still love Thug?
Yes, I do.
And you don't want anything, and you don't want your testimony to hurt them, correct?
It's not about hurting them. I told you I lied. It's the truth. I lied.
I have no further questions.
All right. Does anybody have recross? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Copeland. I'll be brief.
Okay.
You recall this morning, Ms. Hilton spent a lot of time going over the fact that you're a liar, correct?
Yes.
And you told Ms. Hilton that before you ever testified to this court, correct?
Correct.
I did not call you here as a witness, right? You didn't receive a subpoena from me.
I haven't spoken to none of y'all.
Okay. You received a subpoena from the state to be here.
State? Yeah, from Ms. Hilton.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Copeland, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Your testimony is that what you told... Gotcha. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You remember we went through your statements to the police in 2015, correct?
Correct.
All right, and you remember we pointed out the first time that you said that you had heard, first time you had claimed that you had heard that my client Shannon and Mr. Kendrick and others were responsible for Donovan Thomas. The first time you claimed that was June 10th of 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you claimed that your source of information was Demekion Garlington.
That's what I told the police.
That's what you told the police. And you have made it very clear, I think, that your testimony is that was a lie.
It is.
Right. Now, what I want to make clear is your intention at the time, June 10th, 2015, you were being arrested.
Yes.
That was the reason for the finesse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And your intention was that Demekion Garlington, Lil D, was going to back you up.
That's what I said.
Okay. And want to be clear, the statement Shannon, Yak, Duop, and Nard, you were asked by Ms. Hilton if you told that lie that you made up on June 10th, you were asked if you had shared those names with anyone else. And I believe you said with Little D, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You said I shared the names with him?
Yes.
Yes.
Characterization of the question.
Okay.
You want to rephrase?
Those 4 names that you made up, you shared those names with Lil D, correct?
That's what I said.
Okay, and I'm asking, I'm not worried about what you said right now. I'm asking for the truth. So you shared those names with Lil D.
Y'all confusing me at this point, man.
I'm not trying to confuse you. You needed, in your mind, you felt you needed Demekion Garlington to back you up, correct?
That's what I thought he was gonna do.
Okay, and you needed to share the lie you made up with him, correct?
I told the investigator that Lydia come clear me.
Right. And so you shared the information that you gave to the investigator, the lie. You shared that with Lil D, correct?
I shared it with Moontoon too.
Okay, and you, I believe your testimony was Lil D, after you shared it with him, said, "Damn boy, you hell." Is that?
He said he got my back.
Do you know, if you know, do you know who Moontoon might have shared that information with, that lie with? If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, do you know who Mr. Garlington, Lil D, may have shared that information with?
Well, I thought he was gonna tell it to the police, but I guess he didn't.
Okay, do you know who he shared it with? I'm not asking you to speculate. If you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. We just played some jail calls from 2015, correct?
They
just did. Yeah.
I guess.
All right. And that was 394 Yankee, I believe, was the exhibit number. Every time you speak on those jail calls from jail, every jail you've ever been to, they play a recording in the beginning. A lady's voice comes on in the beginning, right?
Your call is being recorded.
Right. You know your calls are being recorded, correct?
Right.
You knew in 2015 your calls are being recorded, correct?
I knew before I even went to jail.
That's common knowledge, correct?
Right.
Okay. And obviously, if you're being recorded, you can control what you say on the recorded line, right?
Right.
So you can say things like, Lil D told me this or that, right?
I can say whatever I want to say.
Right. What you can't control is what the person you're talking to says. Like when Deshaun said, "You're a liar, you're lying, you switched it up." That's the part you can't control on the jail recorded calls, right?
Well, you know that.
Talk about recordings. Let's move to meetings with the district attorney. You talked about several times the district attorneys, members from the district attorney's office coming to meet you in jail and in prison too, right? Federal?
Not federal.
Okay.
But state.
State jail and state prison?
County jail.
County jail. Okay. Rice Street.
Fayetteville.
In Fayetteville. Okay.
And Verito came to Rice Street.
Okay. Viverito had a, when we say Viverito, we're talking about investigator Viverito.
Yes.
She had a cell phone, you said.
She did.
Okay. Now you didn't have, you're in jail. You don't have the ability to record your meetings with the DAs in jail, do you?
No.
Okay. Do you know if they recorded those meetings?
The one in Fayetteville, I thought I caught Verito recording me, and then I started watching her phone.
Have you ever heard the recordings of the DAs when they came to meet you?
No.
Okay, what about in judges' chambers? You ever hear a recording of that?
What you mean?
A recording, an audio recording of that meeting?
You talking about when I recorded them?
No, I'm talking about June 10th, 2024. You ever hear an audio recording?
No.
Okay, so the state has been playing recordings of phone calls you're making from jail, right?
I don't understand.
The state has played phone calls, recordings of phone calls you've made from jail. We just heard some, right?
Yes.
Okay, but do you know where the recordings of the state meeting with you, those meetings are?
Objection.
Know where those recordings are?
Human effects not evidence.
Sustained.
Okay, let's talk about the warrants for the murder of Donovan Thomas. Okay, you acknowledge that you were charged with the murder of Donovan Thomas, correct?
They charged me.
Right. And when you say they, let's talk about that. When you say they, you're talking about Detective Thorpe, correct?
So I'm talking about the police, the DA. I don't know who did it, but they told me I was being charged with murder.
Okay. Do you remember in 2015, and we talked about it, you gave statements about where you were that day, right? That you felt cleared you from the murder.
I did.
Okay. And you also lied to the police about Demekion telling you certain information.
Well, I don't say that for like a billion times.
Right. And you would agree that if someone were to believe that lie, it would have cleared you from the murder, right?
I don't get what you said.
Speculation.
Sustained.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Detective Thorpe, he took those warrants out on you in October of 2015, correct?
He took them out on me while I was in jail.
Right. After you gave that statement on June 10th, 2015, right?
Some months after, yeah.
Right. So he heard what you said on June 10th, 2015, and then months after that, he took out warrants for your arrest.
You say that again?
He heard what you said on June 10th, 2015, and then months later, warrants were taken out for your arrest for that murder, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And finally, may I approach the evidence, Your Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Kokomo, could you play that prior testimony? Do you remember testifying about do you remember when I stood up there and talked to you about your pending charges that were dismissed?
Yes.
Okay. Could you play that clip, Mr. Kokomo?
Do I gotta listen to it?
If you would.
You're right. He said he remembered it, so I would.
Is there some reason we need to hear it again? Can you just ask him about it?
Okay. I can.
Okay, let's do that.
And you remember I was standing right there and reading the sheet?
Yes.
Okay. I was reading the sheet and you were agreeing with me, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I never said that Fonnie Willis signed the piece of paper, did I?
You said who name is that?
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you publish 27D? Okay, and Mr. Copeland, I asked you if Fonnie Willis's name was on the decision of district attorney declined to prosecute defendant. And that's your name on the sheet, right? Kenneth Copeland?
Yes.
Okay. And I asked you if Fonnie Willis's name was on the sheet, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the sheet starts out, comes now, Fonnie Willis, district attorney for the Atlanta Judicial Circuit, state of Georgia, and shows this honorable court the following, correct?
Correct.
And it's signed by another man named Kenneth Hutcherson, whose title is labeled as executive district attorney, correct?
That's what she just showed me.
All right. And you know Miss Fonnie Willis to be the elected district attorney of Fulton County, correct?
I think she like the head person.
The boss,
Yeah.
Mr. Hutcherson's boss. Let me ask you, this was from 2021, right? When you were first charged with this false statement and false report of a crime. It was 2021, right?
When I was in jail.
Yes. Okay. Who was the attorney that got this case dismissed for you? Who was your attorney on this case?
You?
I was?
You told me?
Did you ever hire an attorney on this case?
I'm saying you told me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, what advocating for yourself did you do that convinced the district attorneys to dismiss this case in January 2024? What did you do to get them to dismiss it?
Sustained.
Mr. Copeland, you've said in your testimony that you've been sent, the police have constantly sent you to jail for things you didn't even do, right?
Right.
The state has prosecuted you time and time again for things you didn't even do, right?
Yep.
People are picking on you, right?
Yep.
And then in January 2024, your case just got dismissed and you didn't even do a darn thing to make it happen, huh?
You told me, I didn't know.
All right, thank you.
Any other cross?
With the court's permission, I'd like to publish 378 YD. It's in evidence already. Shannon Stillwell 24F as in Fox. It's 62259 through 62401, about a minute and 2 seconds. Mr. Copeland, can you listen to this? And this is February 21, 2015. If you need better headphones with the court's permission, we have other ones if you need.
All right.
I got somebody, but I don't know his name. He was there. He everything. He called the night. Well, I forgot what day night got killed, but it was a Friday night. It was Thursday night. They had a barbecue. But the barbecue just about it was blood and everything bloody. Then the whole meeting was based upon me.
I can't
They were all
understand what I'm saying.
Try to stop it, please. Is that okay? Thank you. Would this possibly help? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I can't understand what I'm saying. We can give it a try. I don't know.
May I approach?
You can give it a try.
You keep me.
What I want you to listen for, can you hear me? What I want you to listen for is any mention of this conversation about you being killed with Mo, that conversation, any mention of Jeffrey Williams, okay?
All right.
I got somebody, I don't know his name. He was there. He irritated. He called the night. Well, I forgot what day they got killed, but it was a Friday night. No, it was Thursday night. They had a barbecue. But the barbecue just about it was blood and everything blood. Then the whole meeting was based upon me. They was all in there talking about this and this, talking about this and this. So the nigga Mo was on the phone. So Mo told everybody, I need every last one of y'all, whoever 90s scraps here, whoever that other nigga name, supposed to kill me. They gave all of them guns. The same night, they gave every last one gun. Said, treat me to a gas station and kill me. I forgot whatever. But he called and he told me everything and he said, is this person a friend of yours?
Did you hear anything about Jeffrey Williams, a young thug or anything like that?
No, I didn't say nothing about him.
All right. And when the prosecutor was asking you questions about your jail calls and Jeffrey Williams putting you in songs, do you know any other song that you are referenced in that Jeffrey Williams is featured on or performed with your name except Halftime?
You said do he got any other songs with my name in it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Which song?
Beat It.
Anything else?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. And then when you were questioned by the prosecutor about Monday, June 10th, 2024, coming from DeKalb County Jail to the chambers of Judge Glanville, do you remember those questions?
Yes.
With all of your time, Judge Glanville was there at that meeting, right?
Yes.
All of your experience and horrors with the criminal justice system, all the arrests and prosecutions, all your convictions that are in evidence, tell the jurors another time that you found yourself speaking about the case with the prosecutor and the judge and your lawyer.
Never.
You said that you were coerced and pressured. Do you remember using those type of terms to testify?
I am.
Do you remember being told, and I know it was corrected by the Honorable Judge Whitaker, but do you remember being told by Miss Hilton and Judge Glanville that if you don't testify, you have to remain in jail, not only till this trial ends, but all 28 people who are charged in this indictment resolve their case? Do you remember being told that?
No, they told me indefinitely. Whatever that word, they don't sound like a good word. And I asked her to explain it to me. And then he explained it. And then she broke it down to me that every defendant, so that means the people that go to trial next and all of that.
Okay.
And it could take up to so many years and just not about to sit in no jail all them years.
Judge Whitaker said that's not correct and corrected it, right?
Huh?
Later, the Honorable Judge Whitaker corrected that, said that's not true.
I didn't hear her.
Okay. want to ask you, and if you need those, if those help, the headphones, I want to talk with you about the jail call. It's stage 295Y, as in yesterday, starting at 350, Your Honor. That's wrong. It's a little later. It's 407 to 420. I wonder if you can focus, if they help you, if it's they swear to God we killed Nut, so they going to stay on you, and at 411 they swear we smoked Nut. If you could listen to this.
Baby, swear to God, we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
They swear he smoked nut.
Stay away from that shit, bro. You just don't know it be your hood, bro. Your hood is scared of you, bro. Don't.
Were you able to hear that better?
Yeah, real good.
What was said? Tell the jurors, and they could listen to it their own at their leisure too.
Which part?
Both parts. When Max was speaking, who you call Max, Jeffrey's sister.
She said,
tell the jurors.
They gonna swear to God we killed Matt. She said, Nut. She said, can I hear it again?
Of course. With the court's permission, Your Honor, we're going to replay. And that again is the same exhibit 295Y, and it's from 407 to 420.
Baby, swear to God, we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Swear to God we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Say it one more time.
Swear to God we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Okay. Did it say they swear to God, or did you hear it? What did you? I apologize. Did you hear they swear to God we killed Nut?
Objection, explanation.
So this is how Dolly talk.
Sustained.
Okay. Explain it. Explain what you were going to say.
She talk fast, so when we was on the phone, she like, they swear to God we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Okay. And then Mr. Kokomo, with the court's permission, is going to continue. For that other person speaking, it's a man's voice. If you know who it is, tell the jurors and what that person said, if you can tell. And that's at 411.
Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
They swear he smoked nut.
They swear he smoked Nut.
They swear
he smoked Nut.
He smoked Nut. Okay. All right, Mr. Copeland. Now, you said, you can take off the headphones if you want to. You said multiple times that you were raised in a situation where law enforcement, you believe you had to lie to them. Do you remember saying things like that?
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah.
And some people don't have that experience. Law enforcement assists them. Was that your experience growing up in your area?
Yeah, when I grew up, the police used to run in my grandma's house and beat my uncles up and kicking our door for my whole life. Up until my mama died. So yeah, we didn't like the police.
And when you get in that interrogation room, you said earlier, it's not about the truth. You remember saying that?
I'm listening.
Is it about just getting out of there?
Yeah, that's the purpose of going in the interrogation room, to finesse your way out.
And do you know people, other people, do you personally know, who lied to the police in the interrogation room?
Shit, I mean,
Sustained.
Last questions that I'd like to ask you, a series of questions. Ms. Hilton asked you Jeffrey's not seen on the Texaco video changing cars like you told the police. You know what I'm talking about, right? I have you.
Yes.
She then asked you about, was there switching of cars in the back of the Texaco? Do you remember something like that?
Yes.
Where did that come from?
That's my first time hearing it.
To verify or support your statement, Ms. Hilton asked you the following items. Did the police show you found shell casings? Remember that question?
Yes.
How does that support whatever you told the police?
Oh, you lost me.
I lost you? Okay.
Yeah, you start over.
Yes, sir.
That question was withdrawn.
Okay, if it was withdrawn, it was withdrawn.
Did the police show you rental car records from Hertz? Do you remember that question?
Yes.
How does Jeffrey renting a car for you put Jeffrey into a murder?
They did it.
We talked about the surveillance video of the Texaco and about the back of it, so I'm skipping that one. How about Duke? You know who Duke is?
Which one?
Martinez Arnold?
Yes.
Javaris Bradford or Tuda, do you know who that person is?
No.
Ms. Hilton asked you about, did the police show you a jail call from Martinez Arnold and conversation with Tuda or Mr. Bradford? How does that implicate Jeffrey in a murder?
Your Honor, objection, Mr. still invading the province of the jury.
Well, speculation, so sustained.
Okay, the way Ms. Hilton asked you, don't speculate. How does that support anything you told the police?
Sustained. I mean, that's not something he can answer.
Telephone calls on the jail phone recorded from Shannon Stillwell. Did the police share it with you? That was her question.
Yes.
Let me ask you a different verification or corroboration. Corroboration is a bad word. It just means it verify. You know what verify means?
Yes.
Okay. It verifies your story to the police. How about Detective Gaither speaking with Miss Quarterman, Deshaun Quarterman, and you told the police Deshaun Quarterman knows all about this, right?
I did.
Well,
I don't.
in one of your statements.
You said I told the police that she knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about the police ever recording a call with Deshaun Quarterman saying, tell us what you know? That ever happened? Did the police ever show you that?
I don't think they ever questioned her.
Okay. How about this? You have your cell phone, or the police have it, June 10, 2015, right? You got arrested with your cell phone at your home, right?
Yes.
How about give you the phone and the police are recording and you call Jeffrey Williams and the police can listen? Did that happen?
No.
Thank you, sir.
All right, does
Thank you,
anybody
Your Honor.
else have questions? Follow-up questions? Nope, everybody? All right, Mr. Copeland. Is he released or just excused?
He'll be excused for right now, Your Honor.
So he's excused, he's not released.
Of course it doesn't.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, you are excused. It is,
Oh, what do
I
you mean?
guess, possible that you might be called back, but until you hear otherwise, you don't have to come back here again.
It's not over with?
Well, your testimony for right now is over with. The trial is not over with, but you don't need to concern yourself with the rest of it. But as I understand, he's still under subpoena.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Engelberger, thank you again for your willingness to step in here for us, for the court.
I'll tell you when.
You may be, and obviously stand by as well. because he's not released, but yeah, we would let you know and give you all both some heads up if he's to be recalled. Thank you. What? Okay, thank you. All right, do you have a short, like hour-long witness?
He's not an hour long. We do
Okay.
have one out there, but he's not an hour long.
Okay, I know we have a couple of matters to deal with. They're not gonna, I don't think, take very long. We can start with the next witness, or we can just start fresh in the morning. Jurors, y'all have a preference? The morning, okay. All right, I'm gonna release y'all for the evening. If you could stick with us for just a second. And with the reminder to not discuss the case with anybody, don't allow anybody to discuss it with you, don't observe in any way, and try to avoid in every way any kind of accounts from anybody or any place about the trial, and we'll see y'all in the morning, okay? All right, this next matter is going to be, it's going to concern a juror. So if the media could please stop recording. All right.
He can be here tomorrow. He did tell me that he was letting the court know his schedule, but he did apprise the court, I believe, in Dublin.
Wherever else he needs to be, that he's going to, and once he's here, he's going to need to stay here until we're finished with that witness. He understands that, right?
I believe he does. We spoke outside at
Okay.
lunch.
Is he here now?
He should be.
Do you want to just have him come in, and I'll just let him know if I need to reach out to any of the other courts and let them know what's going on? I'm happy to do that.
Yes.
How long do you anticipate with, and I know you can't know if you're certain, but
3 hours.
okay. And then, so I don't know how much cross there will be, but probably, I mean, lawyers are notorious for underestimating how long everything takes. So I'm going to say we might be with him for most of the day. And then if you throw in a couple of sound issues, which seem to be pretty regular as well, we're probably talking about all day with him. Although have your next witness lined up just in case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, while we're waiting for Mr. Wright.
Your Honor, I may have missed it. The state earlier, I thought, announced that there was 2 interviews of Mr. Sledge, and I
think that was in an email. Isn't that what we were talking about this morning?
Yes, and we said we were going to verify. We just haven't had the opportunity, but we're going to verify. We'll email everyone this evening.
Okay, well, y'all were, I thought, going to talk about that at lunch, but
I'm fairly certain that the defense only has 1 interview in the discovery.
can somebody kind of go ahead and sort that out before we leave here? Good afternoon. So I think that we're going to see you and your witness tomorrow. And I appreciate you being here. You know how it is. You never know exactly when the next person's going to get called, but your witness will be first thing in the morning, 9 a.m. The estimate is somewhere between 3 hours, and I'm thinking more like the whole day, but who knows? Hopefully it'll just be tomorrow in terms of your scheduling, but obviously if I need to reach out to any other judge who expects you, just let me know that, and obviously our chambers will coordinate. Okay. All right. Okay. And if there's anybody that you think needs to be apprised in advance, just let us know that, and we'll go ahead and do that as well. Okay. All right. So we'll see y'all in the morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Thank you. How fast do you think y'all could find out about, because I kind of wanted y'all to do that over the course of the day. A few moments. Okay.
Judge, while we're waiting on that, I want to reiterate, I don't know whether this has been covered, but I do want to reiterate my objection to the admission of any guilty plea agreement or guilty plea transcript against anyone other than the witness on trial. I mean, the witness in the witness stand. So I do want to reiterate that and ask for a cautionary 105 instruction with regard to the admission of the guilty plea and any alleged guilty plea colloquy.
Okay. And I know we've talked about various different witnesses, potential guilty plea colloquies. Remind me what might come up with this particular next witness, Mr. Sledge.
There were 2 issues. One was the entry whole hog of his prior guilty plea. And the state, I think, made very clear. So there's a video of him taking the plea, and then there's the actual plea agreement paperwork that has been admitted for other witnesses. What I said and what I maintain is that we will not be tendering a guilty plea just to tender the guilty plea. We would tender the certified conviction, but as far as that guilty plea paperwork, unless he says something that is not consistent with it, then we won't have a need to tender it as any prior inconsistent statement. Or if there is some challenge to something that he said as a recent fabrication, I mean, unless there's an exception to it, there won't be a need to have it read into the record. I mean, we may tender it as evidence for the record, but not for presentation or anything to the jury unless something happens during his testifying.
All right.
That was the first.
You're not intending to introduce anybody else's guilty plea with this witness, are you?
No.
Well,
Mr. Harvey, can you give me a little bit of more info on what it is you might be referencing?
The guilty plea agreement.
Of anybody else?
No, of the witness.
Oh, you said you were objecting to the
admission of the guilty plea agreement as to anybody other than that it represents And can be used as
Oh,
substantive
oh,
evidence
okay.
against any of the other defendants on trial.
Yeah,
It can be used traditionally, and there are 100 cases
All right, I
on that point.
understand what you mean now. I thought you meant somebody else's guilty plea
No, no, no,
agreement.
no.
You mean it's use against
Yes.
somebody else?
Yes,
And-
that's correct.
Okay, and do you have a proposed instruction on that? What did he plead to?
Your Honor, he pled to the indictment. So two things. One, I'm not certain why Mr. Harvey is saying that a 105 instruction is necessary. As it relates to this particular witness, he will be on the stand testifying, and his testimony would be admissible, especially as it relates to count one, as to all of the defendants. If he says something on the stand inconsistent with what he has said previously, then that prior inconsistent statement would be substantive evidence against all of the defendants, if that comes to it. But I don't know that it will come to that, so I can't really speak to,
All right, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, just have something ready, and
Okay.
it may just depend upon what the circumstances are.
Well, the rule is as follows. One person's guilty plea or conviction may not be used as substantive evidence of the guilt of another. The evidence, however, a co-defendant's guilty plea is admissible at trial, provided that, quote, the evidence serves a legitimate purpose and the jury is properly instructed about the limited use they may make of it, close quote. That's United States versus Deloach at 34 Fed 3rd, 1001 at pinpoint 1003, as discussed in United States versus Clay. In United States versus Clay is, I don't know whether you want a Westlaw or Lexus site, but 2021 US Appeals Lexus 36080 or 2021 Westlaw 5795330. That's the general rule.
Judge, I think that's the general.
That's the general rule. That's not
Yes.
when we're talking about something like a RICO count.
It's the general rule as to anything. He can testify, but the plea agreement cannot be used against everybody else. That provision of the statute and the gang statute has been held unconstitutional. We've argued about this before, but his guilty plea can't be used against anybody else.
I disagree with what Mr. Harvey is saying. I think as it relates to this witness's guilty plea and anything, if it's a prior inconsistent statement, federally it may not be allowed, but under the Georgia rules of evidence, a prior inconsistent statement is substantive evidence. So given that it would be substantive evidence against each of these defendants as to count one, a limiting instruction would not be warranted. A 105 limiting instruction, as Mr. Harvey has requested, would not be warranted. So I'm not certain what he's proposing to the court, so I can't really object specifically to what he's proposing.
It's not.
But I argue that.
Sorry.
Please don't
I'm sorry.
interrupt
I'm sorry. I
the
thought she was
attorneys when
done,
they're
and
talking.
I apologize.
Okay.
But I would, at this point, my position is that a 105 limiting instruction isn't necessary. We're not talking about someone that they cannot cross-examine. We're not talking about somebody who's unavailable. We're talking about a person who is on the stand as a witness that will be asking questions.
Okay, so I don't think Mr. Harvey is talking about a prior inconsistent statement being used as substantive evidence. He's talking about the guilty plea itself being used as evidence against any of the people here on trial, right?
That's correct. That is correct. The guilty plea agreement can be used against Mr. Sledge, but not against the other defendants. Show the court a case. I want to see a case where it
Talk to me.
says that a 105 instruction and a guilty plea of even a testifying co-defendant doesn't require a 105 instruction. The case that I cited to the court, which cites a whole series of 11th Circuit cases, is a case that deals with a testifying witness. It is not just unavailability. And fine, if we can see a case that says otherwise, we'll be glad to discuss it. In the meantime, I'm moving in limine and want a 105 instruction.
All right, well, give me something that you would like proposed, and why don't we all meet here at 8:30 in the morning, since we'll need to hash all of this out potentially before we get the next witness on the stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll be here at 7:30.
And what I heard Mr. Harvey say that he's not speaking about the certified conviction. He's talking about that plea form where there were factual acknowledgments that were made. And that is what we discussed the last time. And that is what I told the court that I would not be using unless there was something inconsistent said. And that is why I said it would be a prior inconsistent statement that is admissible as substantive evidence. And Mr. Harvey is asking us to prove a negative, when in fact, the case law that he is citing is not applicable to this circumstance.
Judge, I am talking about a plea agreement. There
Are you
is a
talking about
December.
the part that he signs and he says, yes, I acknowledge X, Y, and Z are true, or whatever it is
Yes,
he says?
yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. See y'all at 8:30 about it, and send anything you want to have me consider in the meantime to Ms. Firstfield. All right, anything else?
We have a response for the Antonio Sledge interview, Your Honor.
Okay.
It appears that there's only one interview to answer the question. And also, Your Honor, I can do this now or when the jury is, I want to just make sure that the exhibits that we discussed today were tendered and admitted, Your Honor. And so I just wanted to go over those numbers again.
We can do that now.
So the exhibits that we tendered and moved for admission was 399Y, 401Y, 402Y, 403Y, 404Y, 405Y, 406Y, and 407Y.
And you think those were all admitted?
Yeah.
Or you're just
If they
trying to
weren't,
make
I want to
sure?
make sure that they are.
I know. So remind me what 399Y was?
399Y was the law and crime clip where I asked Mr. Copeland about reading the Hertz records.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if you tendered, or, well, I mean, you must have because you played it. So yeah, that was admitted. And then I know 401 and 402Y were, and then obviously anything that you played was.
Yeah.
Is that what everything else was?
So 401 and 402 were the
Guilty
document
plea forms, yeah.
And then
Those are in.
And then 403, just to confirm, was go back. 405Y, I can start there, was the video clip of Mr. Steele and Mr. Copeland and the portion of the We Killed Nut call. 6Y was the June 16, 2015 jail call. 407Y was the June 13, 2015 jail call.
Okay, those are in.
And then I just need to look and see what 405.
I mean, a lot of this is like it was already in, and now they're just excerpts, and so they already are in. They're just labeled as smaller pieces of the larger piece that's already in.
No,
right?
no, these were like the law and crime. The law
Not the law and crime things; those are in, and the two guilty plea forms are in.
Correct.
But all of the things that are just, snippets of things that were already in I mean, they're already in, it's just more for convenience that y'all are relabeling them.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so was there anything else other than those groupings of things?
Okay, no, that was it, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Anything else before we break for the day? Okay. 8:30, see y'all at 8:30. All right, we are adjourned for the day.
We can stop.